Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical video and audio elements of the videos that I watch. And today we are going back to Pentatonix and I am checking out their cover of Charlie Puth's 2017 single, Attention, which came out about a year after Charlie released his own single version of it. And this is a song I don't particularly know. Out of curiosity, I decided not to listen to it sort of really focusing like I did with the last video I did, which was Home Freeze, Get Down Like That. I actually listened to it and concentrated on it. I just glanced at Attention, and I've definitely heard it, but I've never really absorbed it. And so I decided to just let that go, accept the fact that I kind of know the groove of the song, and see what Pentatonix does with it. And I'm very excited to see. What I do know is Attention hit number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, so it was a very successful song for Charlie. It peaked at number 1 on a variety of charts, including some of the Billboard subsidiary charts. I know it's gold and platinum in multiple countries, I think 6 times platinum in the US. It's diamond in a couple of places. Like, it's done extremely well for itself. And I don't know an enormous amount more than that, so I'm very interested to see what I'm getting into here. This is a slightly older song. This is from 2018. Pentatonix released this. It had been out for just under a year, as I say. And it was the same time that that the album came out, Voice Notes, that the song is actually on. And yeah, that's kind of all I know, so I'm just fascinated to see what I'm getting into. I think it's going to be... It sounded like a song... And I said the same thing last week with Get Down Like That and Home Free. This sounds like a song that suits Pentatonix really well. And I'm really interested to see sort of whether I'm correct about that. I strongly suspect I am, because it smacks of their style and something that they could do something really cool with. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's about all I have to say, really. So again, with a shorter intro, I'm just going to say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way this works, I'm going to watch this through from beginning to end, commenting and emoting over the top. I will then go back and watch it a second time, this time pausing, interrupting and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can based on what I've just seen and heard and the foreknowledge of having seen it once before. Please do hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you would care to support the channel, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, at patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or by leaving a super thanks here on YouTube, all of which would be very gratefully appreciated if you should choose to do one. And that's about it. So without any further delay, I'm just going to jump straight on in and check out Pentatonix's cover of Charlie Puth's Attention. Ooh, okay. Oh, I like what they've done already. You've been going around everybody in LA. Cause you knew that I knew that I'd be in one. I know that dress is karma, perfume regret. Cool build from that sort of very broken verse. Now a little bit fuller. I love what they're doing with this. It's so exposed. I love that. It's really good for the vibe of the song. It's so rhythmic too. This is awesome. Lovely harmony going on behind. And nice use of unison.
Yeah, you just want attention. I knew
I love the challenge in her expression. Yes! Ooh, wow! That chromatic! Damn! Woohoo! Oh, yes! Oh, nice cutting. Beautiful edit work. Nice. That is, I believe, what one would call a certified bop. What a fantastic version of that song. It's so energetic, very uplifting, despite the fact that the tone of the song is very much kind of like, hey, you know, what are you up to? It's very, very infectiously joyous in the musical arrangement, and it's partly in the rhythm they've chosen, it's in the way that they've harmonized some of it, it's even in the video. It's such a colorful video. This is very vibrant. It's very, very everything about it is upbeat except potentially the lyrics, which is, you know, it's great. It's a lovely counterpoint. This is so good. I'm just going to check the description for any information. I'm not expecting much because Pentatonix doesn't usually do much, but give me 1 second. Yep, nothing there, which is fine. It's all good. But we are going to go back to the top of this thing and see what I can bring out of it. Also, apologies. I'm guessing in advance that the entire, at least for the that reaction, this video is probably obscured. Very necessary for this era of Pentatonix in particular. With this era, I mean where they have this as their title card. All of these videos seem to require obfuscation in order for them to actually pass by YouTube and actually allow them to be viewed. I think there's maybe one Pentatonix video that I actually make any ad revenue from, but if I don't obscure the video, it will actually get blocked entirely and nobody, or at least in certain countries, people won't be able to see it. So that's why I do that. So apologies if that is the case, and if not, then this sentence will probably have been cut. All right, so let's check it out and see what's what. I really enjoy this opening. There's so many cool things about it. I think, first of all, whatever it is, the actual syllables that he's enunciating, straight in on a low note with then this kind of almost brass-like punctuation above it. It's very striking. It draws the attention very rapidly into the arrangement. Then you add to that this kind of envelope opening transition that we have going out of the black. So we have the fade to black, and then just immediately, vroom, and you can already see this envelope here, the wipe, coming up as we switch to the trio. It's very vibrant in terms of the color, but it's also very punchy in how this is edited. This whole video is very punchy. Sometimes, this is what I'm really enjoying about this, is we've seen some nice slow editing from Pentatonix that's a little bit more considered. This one just keeps hitting you with transitions, with cuts, with rhythm. There's rhythm throughout every single element of this song, and I absolutely love it. And even there, dum dum da da, we had a cut on each one of those beats. So it's everything's rhythmic. It's so smooth, and it allows, because it's in rhythm, I feel like you can get away with faster cutting and more kind of jagged cutting when it's in rhythm than you can when it's out of. And so that's actually really appealing in that sense as well. Even that, dum dum da da, on that beat, we cut to Kevin. And even there's a little bit. And then we just get this what I do enjoy is, because his percussion right now is just the bass drum, we just hang on him for a second with the boom, 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 before we cut again and start this very frantic cut that follows afterwards. I also want to take a second, actually. Let's just take a second and look at the production design that has gone into this as well, because it is exceptional. The colors in the background really I noticed, I won't show it because I don't, I just focus on the YouTube full screen here, but the little tiny album cover they had for this, if I can maybe bring a screenshot of it up, it's really, really cool using these background colors. Very, very striking. This lovely kind of sort of turquoise teal color we've got going on here, but the striking difference and how well it balances with the yellow of what Matt is wearing, even this kind of slightly more beigey yellow of the shirt, but definitely with this vibrant yellow that we have on the sort of overshirt that he's wearing, the jacket. It really balances extremely well. And then we bring these in. Now we still have the yellow there, but now it's Kirsty's background. Really, really impactful coloring here. Again, kind of, I mean, orange, yellow and blue. So not quite primary colors, but very, very close to verging on it. That's certainly the impression you kind of get looking at this. But again, the costuming that they've got, this very, very soft pink that Mitch has against the blue, this striking denim against the orange is very clear, and this darker green that Kirsty's wearing that is really, really well coordinated with the yellow, but also the pink eyeshadow, this magenta color she's wearing on her eyes, that also is very, very striking with the yellow and also works with the green. But the way that they're using these color combinations is making this such a vibrant video. It stood out to me straight away. It's also bringing everybody's eyes out really, really well. You'll notice the eyes are a real focal point in this video. They often are with Pentatonix, but here it's there's less effort. We're not getting close-ups, which it just is a focal point because of how well color graded everything is. And then here you have this lovely, vibrant red and white color scheme going on that Kevin is wearing. And again, very, very striking. All of these, everything in this video is designed to stand out. The editing, the colors, the shots that are being used. You get a lot of close-ups on the face. Really, really powerful stuff. I love this. This is so good. I also really like what they're doing rhythmically in terms of the enunciation too, and the vowel usage. That da-da, that one long da-da, and everything else is it's an it's a sort of schwa sound almost. It's not really a vowel. And then it's dum. No vowel at all, and then da, long note. It kind of gives it extra weight. Yes, there's already weight on it because it's a longer note, but there's extra weight because we have changed to this wide open vowel sound from the most closed, dum is about the most closed off sound you can possibly get. So there's this huge difference between those two. Very effective. Really nice too. I love that we get 3 of the same da 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 da, and then on the third one we have the da. They change, they hold something on, and it's kind of a natural progression at the end of that phrase. So you have the 2 bars that are more or less the same. The third bar extends it a little, and the 4th bar is different. Really, really nice little change. But I also like what Matt's doing because we have a lot of attention drawn to the because he's on his own. But then the those very, very much in the background, much less focused on in the arrangement. And I like that he can kind of creep back up there, and it's almost like he's making room for Scott to then come in with the verse. Really effective choice, that. And again, this nice on the beat cutting, but I like this reduction so that we get all 5 of them on the screen together before we actually go into the verse, just for a hot second. Really, really nice stuff. And even there, boom, 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 this slow push in, but we're not really slowly pushing in. There's a crash zoom of the screen itself. We're actually scaling that video bigger and bigger in these cuts on each of those 4 beats, just pushing in, but it kind of emphasizes that repetition element of what Scott's actually singing there, run around, run around. We're actually getting that kind of re-emphasized by those sort of sudden cuts rather than this gentle movement in. Really nice. I love that. Dirtle on my name. There's no name. Dirtle on my name. It's much more thrown away than that. It makes it this kind of casual, almost challenging, slightly argumentative vocal style that he's adopted for this, which I think works with the idea of this song really, really well. Also, like that, because we've got this focus here on verse melody and then bass and percussion without a lot of harmony really in these main verse sections. The fact that we then cut to seeing Kevin and Matt underneath is really, really effective, I think. Run around, throwing that dirt all on my name. 'Cause I knew that I'd call you up, baby. You've been going around. And you get that insert. Mitch pops in for his baby. And so we're always getting this representation of what's going on. We're always aware of what's happening, of who's singing, things like that. But the focus is always drawn towards the soloist. Really nice. I knew that I'd call you up, baby. You've been going around everybody in LA. 'Cause you knew that I knew that I'd be in one. Nice. Little simple things happening here. We had that previous shot here where we have everybody down the bottom. We're still focusing on Scott. Here we're still focusing on Scott, but we're bringing the others a little more, A, by having them on screen for longer, and B, by having the window that they occupy being a little bit larger. It's sort of double the width now, maybe. But also now it's bracketing Scott in a slightly different way. Previously, his video was on top as we look at the screen, and therefore there was that sort of sense of focus. Here we can kind of look anywhere. And then I love that not only do we get this switch where Kevin and Matt suddenly switch places, but Kevin's actually acknowledging Matt in both, or maybe Scott, in both directions, the recognition up and then the recognition down. I kind of like that. And we have this lovely space on the side, which doesn't look, this could be it. This could be what the video does for this hot second, but it leaves us room for Mitch and Kirsty to come in just a moment. And I love this geometric construction to this video. It's really, really satisfying to see. 'Cause you knew that I knew that I'd be in one. I know that dress is karma. And again, Mitch has slid in from one side, and what do? They carry that slide on in the same direction to expand his window out so that he can take over the solo. Very, very effective. I know that dress is karma, perfume regret. You got me thinking about when you were mine, thinking about when you were mine. And now lovely choices here. You've got this gorgeous line from Mitch. He's singing really great. We've got the same thing. This focus on this verse line, but the oohs that are going on underneath, we've got more harmony built in now, so there's an element of evolution happening as we move through this song. And then when we get this little sort of phrase that sort of fills in the gap at the end of Mitch's phrase, they're singing in unison all of a sudden. The harmony drops out for a moment and comes only back in, I think on mine. Yeah, on mine, you suddenly get this lovely harmony falling back out. And it's almost like the wider the chord, the more space there is for the soloist, because there's a more directed sound from that unison singing. So they're creating some sonic space for Mitch to fill by backing off into the harmony and separating those notes out a little bit. Kind of fills up the frequency spectrum a little bit more. I really love what they're doing with this. It's great. I really like this too. We've had the three of them on. We get the little push-up so that we get the rhythm section coming in underneath. But here, right where I paused it, we go into this trio. And so you have these... Mitch is slightly larger still because he remains the soloist, but the three pretty much the same size windows focusing on the trio being supported by that rhythm section. So there's a sense of priority in terms of how the windows are scaled, which is kind of what I was getting at earlier. But it's really, really blatant here, and I absolutely love it. Not coming home with me tonight. You just want attention. I love that choice there as well to completely break. Just give that... you get that there's a little bit of echo, bit of decay that's been added in there, a little bit sort of reverb and decay effects both at the same time. But otherwise we get this empty space before Kirsty sings the beginning of the chorus, and I think so effective.
You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention.
Again, this kind of boom, 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 boom. Not only bringing the group in before they start singing again, but there's also a sense of like scale building because it's climbing up. It's not just randomly popping videos in. It's you know, it's like a meter rising. Very, very effective. And I love so much that we get these wide bands of color and the faces are so focused just in the center. This strip down the middle of the video where we see the line of faces. This is such an interesting construction for a video. There's other things where they do cool stuff with shapes, but the actual framing of each individual window is very conventional. This is very unusual, and I'm so here for it. Again, I love how Kirsty sort of has a slightly different casual, where Scott's kind of like, bleh. Yeah, he's falling off words. She's almost a slightly lazy in her pronunciation, but deliberately so. You just want attention. It's slightly slurry almost, but used for effect. And again, it gives that sense of kind of like not thrown away as much, but the meaning that's in the word is different to if she was singing it very clearly. You don't want attention. It gives you a very different vibe, and I love how she's choosing to sing this. I love that cut so much. We have this steady dum 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 bum bum. These very kind of like we had those 4 push-ins with Scott, but this is 2 much faster, much more substantial push-ins to Kirsty, and all of a sudden she's filling the screen over the space of bump bump. She's gone from tiny window in the middle of the screen to completely filling it. Really, really lovely work here. And I love the fact that we've established what happens here, so we can start messing around with the editing, and you're getting all of these sharp cuts. There's lots of... We're not focusing on anything in particular. We know what the song is doing now because we've heard it before, which opens up this creativity in rhythmic editing. It's absolutely fantastic. I also like that we get the da-da. We get the first half of the da just basically as long as Kirsty is sounding on that beat. There's a half beat cut at that point in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so as it's almost slightly delayed, only slightly, but that push off the screen, we see a little bit more of what Kirsty's doing. That's a really nice choice. That's a really interesting one too. These video performances are fascinating. I love that. We get that line, we get this kind of from Kevin, and the turn away. The choice to turn away when nothing is happening for a second, and then turn back as this little section comes in here. And notice how different this feels now. There's such a pace to it because there's da 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 going on behind. It's a different vibe to that first verse. It's so good. We've got a real kind of sense of energy to it now. And while the energy was there previously, it was kind of like it was a kind of bop energy, whereas this one's kind of got a real sense of urgency to it. And the syncopation is helping with that. It's not da 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 da. It's da 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 da. It's that offbeatness that kind of really pushes things along. Notice how there's so much more going on. We're now not focusing on the soloist as much. We're seeing everybody, which is so important because every single person is pulling their weight so hard. And there's so much going on. And the mixing in this, incidentally, is also fantastic. The work that's been done to strike the balance of their production is always superb. And it's really standing out in this one because so much is happening, and yet it's always very, very clear what all of it is, which is really, really nice. And we're playing a little bit more. We have pushing, out, in, out. Like there's the camera's playing around a little bit. We're getting evolutions not just in the music, not just in the editing, but also in how the camera is physically kind of... It may well be post-production, but it's how it's being used to... When I say editing, I was referring to cuts before, but now editing in terms of how the framing is being played with. Really, really nice stuff. I also like that when we then cut, so when we cut from Scott close-up, Kevin is filling about the same amount of the frame. So we're retaining that sort of scale data from frame to frame. We cut back to Scott in the same frame, we pull out, and then we cut to Mitch at that same scale. So each time there's a cut, the amount somebody is filling the screen is more or less consistent. It changes a little bit, but I really like that that's what's happening right now because we're getting a real sense of visual consistency, and it's more of a match cut than it is a cut to a totally different scene, and I think that's a lot of fun. I think it's giving this video a real consistency. And there we have that lovely pushing. As we cut to each person, we get that zoom sense in each case, which gives this da-da-da, a real kind... It adds to that feeling. This is what's happening, I think, is... I've been talking about how much rhythmic editing there is, but I think what's core to that is it is enhancing the vibe of the music in the moment. And that's really, really good stuff. And again, that da-da-da-da-da, like it's not necessarily exactly where you would expect at any given moment that we get one of these interesting rhythmic moments. It's always rhythmic, it's always on a beat or on a push or something like that, but it's not just on the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's getting to have a lot of fun. I love also here, we get this, we've had a lot of sort of consistency of register as well, and now that's starting to spread out too. Up an octave. Lovely, lovely notes sailing over the top there. Little bit of power to it, but again, far enough back in the mix that when Mitch comes back in singing again, he's still the focus. Lovely stuff. Oh, the harmony on that. Tonight. Sorry, got a bit of a cold at the moment. But really, really nice harmony there. There's a lot of beautiful moments in this, but there's some that strike particularly hard. We've got a couple coming up, but that one was very, very powerful as well, I think. Just those literally 2 chords, but you sound them right and they really ring true. You expect, yeah, but you're not coming home with me tonight. You just want attention. Same as we had last time. We have that little bit of decay reverb. We get the Kirsty solo line, and then in comes the rhythm section. But this time we add the "boo" in the middle of it, which is just a nice little extra touch. We know something's coming. We've heard this construct before. And so having a little something that leads down into it is kind of fun. Also love that edit. There's really, really quick disappearances as we focus in on Kirsty. Lovely stuff. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah. I also love the movement we're getting. Like there's a real sense of dance from Kevin and Matt here, especially bracketing Kirsty. Like this particular shot, I just really love the little energy they're bringing to that. It just gives it a little extra vibe that's really fun.
Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start.
And the choice here, I mentioned this as we went through, the choice here to have Kirsty on screen the whole way through this section and just have the others coming in at the sides. We're drawn into her gaze throughout this entire phrasing here, and it's just, it pushes home the criticism and the accusation of this lyric. You just want attention, you know, we feel it watching this because of that. She's just staring into your soul, and it's really, really cool. And yet you have this stuff going on, and you turn away, but you're always going to come back to that gaze. And I realize I'm saying all of this as I've chosen the 1 second where she's closed her eyes and looked down a little bit, but you know what I'm going for.
Yeah, you just want attention.
Also, I turned my volume down massively, but with my own... This turns my volume down, and apparently it's sitting in just the wrong place that if I move my arm in the right way, I manipulate it. That's annoying.
Of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start. You're just making sure I'm never getting over you. What are you doing to me?
And then we cut. This is so fascinating to me. You have this gorgeous penetrating line with Kirsty's expression on screen the whole way through, like really, pushing the message home. And then we crash out to this 5-frame window, and the cutting, the pacing, everybody shifting around. It's a complete change of vibe from what we just had. This is really, really kind of pacey, all over the place cutting, and I don't mean that it's not all over the place in a messy way. It's just that all of a sudden you are kind of slightly overwhelmed by what's happening on the screen, which is complete contrast. And it's a really nice shift going from that into this section and feeling that change in the song.
Over you. What are you doing to me? What are you doing?
Also, the energy of the performers. All 5 of them have just picked up how much they're moving on screen. Someone like Matt moving a ton, but they're all moving more than they were a minute ago. And so you've also increased the energy in that sense as well.
Over you. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? Oh, no. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? Oh.
Love stuff like that. That is absolutely gorgeous. But I also love what we're getting here. We're getting a real sense of the group now. We've had these solo moments, we've had these trio moments, we've had the focus on the rhythm section. There's been lots of different constructions of what we're focusing on throughout the song, even though there's tons of points where all 5 of them are singing. Now we're really focusing on the 5 of them singing, and the editing is enforcing that too, because all 5 of them are on screen the whole time. And I do also love that we had this section. Oh, went back too far. I love the kind of coy look in her expression there as well. It's almost kind of like it's a different kind of challenge in that moment. It's like 5 or 6 quick cuts there, and then when we get to this cut, we sit on it for a minute. Really, really nice, because it just gives it's like you get that. The fast cuts break us out of the focus on Kirsty, but then we sit again and we focus on the group for a moment without that kind of, almost eye-shattering changing between the different frames on the screen. I think that's really, really nice work, because it would be too much if it kept going. But they do it just enough to really kind of jar you out of the sedation that you've fallen into and push you into this new section and then go, okay, now have a look at the group doing their thing. Lovely stuff.
What are you doing to me? What are you doing?
And again, I want to focus just up to this point on the really, really lovely harmony that we've got going on here. Like, it's quite tight. There's not a wide, like somebody down here, somebody up here kind of thing. There's a sense of these chords being quite close together, and it's got this really nice sense of togetherness and just no crunch in terms of any dissonance, but crunch in terms of having a nice tight harmony in that moment with just the support of the bass and the percussion. But then we get this. Woo! That chromatic descent is phenomenal. I don't think the chords are changing. This might take me a couple of listens. I think Kevin is the... Matt, I think, is the only one who's singing a different secret. I think everyone else is just doing ah and just going down the chromatic scale. Matt's first note is slightly higher, I think. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? Yeah, he drops down a little bit on that first note. Kevin's the only one, obviously, who's doing something different, which is what I was about to say. He's doing his own thing. He doesn't join in. It would work if he did at this point in time. It'd be interesting to have that kind of fifth harmony, but it's absolutely not necessary. And I like the fact that the percussion carries on underneath this because it keeps a consistency while we get to just marvel over this awesome moment of chromatic descent, which is absolutely phenomenal. Really, really powerful stuff. And it's something so unexpected and so harmonically strong that it really just latches onto you and pulls you back into the song again. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? What are you doing to me? And everybody working so hard right now, but my ear just drawn to Matt there. Boom, 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 boom. It's not a walking bass line, it's not quite that structured, but he's moving all over the place underneath this arrangement, while you have this trio kind of holding this really, really strong harmonic melody that's going on right now. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? What are you doing? I love the choice to have that, and the just little bits and pieces here and there that are just adding a tiny little bit of interest. But you almost, if it weren't for the fact that they were on screen, you might almost not notice them as much because there is so much focus still on that core trio. Really, really good stuff. What are you doing? Oh, that is so nice. We break out of our chord into what I think is a diminished seventh. We break out of our rhythm completely. This, what are you doing? We get this triplet for a split second. We have a break. Kevin stops what he's doing and hits us with a totally different fill. Sudden, complete change. Really, really good, especially after we've just had the chromatic. It was like, oh, that was a really, really... Oh, and there we go again. Really, which I think is pretty much the impact that had on me when we went through it in the reaction. Really nice stuff. And now we go into a completely different chorus because we've gone half time. Mitch is singing the thing. We've got a different style of harmony going on underneath. What a shift up. This is so good. Oh, wow. There's so much happening. Everything just changed in that one moment. And that's so clever because we have that awesome chord. The, what are you doing? And then we hit something that is totally different in terms of its vibe, but you could go anywhere from a break like that. And the fact that this is what they choose to go into is so good. I really like that. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? There's that little extra chord in there. I can't quite pick out the note that they're hitting, but that little shift in terms of what's happening underneath. They're leading into this halftime feel by changing up the rhythm of what the harmony is doing, and it's just really, really strong. And that really, really quick. And the fact that we're getting that cut, but it's only between two people. And what's really key about that, one, the focuses at this point are Kevin and Mitch. Two, because it's only two that we're switching between, it's not quite as much of an assault on the eyes. And so it's easier for us to take in what's actually happening. I think that's a really, really smart decision there, because it would have been very easy to go through all five of them. But I think that might have been a bit too much. And notice the harmony. What are you doing? It's building underneath. We're increasing in pitch. So the harmony is actually increasing its own tension underneath everything else that is going on. So there's this sense as we're building and building and building towards the end of the song. Lovely stuff. And notice, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. We're adding the whole way through this thing. And there, I love that. We have that doom breakout. We focus on the trio, and then as they come back in, the rhythm section slides in on the sides. That's so good. And then just like that, it's done. Boom. Frames close, song over. What a powerful ending. Oh, I think they just... hang on. Oh! I thought it was, oh yeah, it's I Am. Sure I'm never getting. I am sure I'm never getting. That's a nice little bit of leading lyric work. Having the I am in the harmony back there. I thought it was yeah, but no, it's I am. That's really cool. Oh, so good. So good. And they leave it, I would say, just the right amount. I think part of me would say half a second more would be better before we get the come back in again. Just because I like to let a song breathe for a second, but this is good. You know, I'm picky about endings of songs and coming in too quickly with what happens next. But it's such an unfinished chord as well. Doesn't resolve. You have Mitch. Mitch resolves. Everything else is left a little bit uncertain. Boom, 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 boom. That's both Matt and... No, that would be... yeah, probably Matt and Scott would be my guess. They stop on the minor seventh. There's no resolution. That's really cool. So there is a resolution, but it's weak. Because whilst it is the soloist, it's not like it's an Where are we? And you sit on that final note for a few seconds. And that would resolve the song because everything kind of like sucks into it. We finish so abruptly, the ear is left slightly unsatisfied. And I think, given the nature of the song, you know, you're just going around, you just want attention from me, you don't want anything else. I think that's really smart because it leaves that the unsatisfaction is part of that feeling. And I think that, that's really good. This is such a good arrangement. I'm actually really, really impressed by this one. Really fantastic work. Thoroughly enjoyable song. I always have high expectations for Pentatonix, but I feel like this might be one of my favorites. Just the way that they've arranged it, the way they've put it together, what they've done with the counterpoint of the sort of ebullience of the song as they sing it, with this kind of like accusatory lyric that's going on at the same time. Really good stuff. And just rhythmically and harmonically fantastic, which, again, you know, no surprise there whatsoever. But this one hits particularly hard for me in my happy tick box. So yeah, that was really, really good. And that was that. I hope that you enjoyed that as much as I did. As always, I forgot to say beforehand, but please check down below. You'll see a link to the original. Do check it out. And hopefully I brought you something, whether that was Pentatonix themselves, in which case stop what you're doing and go and check them out. They're amazing. Or this song, if you maybe know them, but not this. Or maybe you've heard this 100 times, and I just pointed out something that you're like, oh, that is really cool. Or that's why I like that bit. If I've managed to do that for any of you, then I am a very, very happy person, because that's what I love sharing, is these cool moments in music, in video, whatever it happens to be. So yeah, and thank you so much for spending time with me, especially if you're still here at the end of this video. I really, really appreciate the time that you put in to watch my content, and I hope that you are enjoying it as much as I am enjoying bringing it to you. Please do hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and if you would care to support me, you can head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can leave a one-off donation of any amount or contribute to my goal right now, my wishlist item, which is I'm still working towards getting a full subscription back up for Premiere Pro. Or you could head over to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian or your local equivalent. And that's just ongoing support of the channel, although it does also give you access to my Discord. Or you could leave a super thanks here on YouTube. And any of those would be very gratefully appreciated if you'd care to do them. But of course, no pressure. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, whatever time it happens to be, wherever you are. What are we going to go for today? Let's see if someone's a night owl like me. Let's say 1:15 a.m. That's when I watch a lot of my content like this. So see if anyone's there. And yeah, have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.